Have you noticed that when you take your child to a store or a restaurant, you walk into, let's say it's a restaurant, you walk into the restaurant, get seated at the table, and then your child starts fiddling with everything on the table. Then a second later, he'll get up and he'll walk around and he'll go to somebody's table and he'll pick up something there. Then he runs around to look here. Then he's gone somewhere else. He's just moving all over the place, right? The reason for this is that children are in the sensitive period for movement. This is something that's happening in their body and they need to do it. Think about it. We have a little baby who is, immobile, not able to move around, but then he starts to crawl, and then he starts to walk, and then he starts to run, and then he starts to hold things. These are all skills that he's learning to develop in the first 6 years of life. It's important for children to move. Their insides, everything is telling them, you need to move, you need to keep moving. And while they're moving, they're building up their system in their body. They're building up their muscles. They're learning how to coordinate their movements. They are developing balance. They are learning about different kinds of locomotion, walking, skipping, running, hopping. When you see little children at about 2 years, they call them toddlers. Why? Because they're moving in a way that's not very balanced. They're constantly falling down. They're bumping into things. They haven't yet developed the skills to be able to move independently in a skillful way. And the only way that they will be able to achieve this skill is to be able to have enough opportunities to move. That's why you will see in a Montessori classroom, movement is integrated into everything that a child does. From the very first thing, taking a mat, bringing it to the floor or to the table, unrolling it, rolling it back, going to the shelf, picking up your material, coming back, putting it on the mat, using your material, and then having the ability to use the material over and over and over again, as many times as you like. If you can see behind me, I have the long rods, I have the prisms. When the child uses this material, they have to pick up each of these rods or each of these prisms one at a time and take it to the mat. That means they go back and forth 10 times till the material is on the mat and they can begin their activity, which is great because at that age, this is what their body needs. They're sensitive to movement. They need the movement to pick up big objects. It helps them to develop balance. I get so many teachers who ask me, don't you think it's a bit too heavy for them? Or parents who ask, I think my child will not be able to carry this. Actually, they can. It's suited, everything in here is scaled to your child's size. And every time they carry this, their arms are developing, their legs are developing, they're developing coordination, and they are developing their balance. So it's really, really good for them. What you can do for your child at home is give them a lot of opportunity to move. Don't restrict their movements. It tends to upset us and annoy us, when they're moving around all the time and stuff like that. But take them to places where they can move. Take them to the park. Take them outdoors. Give them room in your home to move around freely. Give them activities that allow them to repeat over and over again. Research has shown that children who move a lot, who are more active, grow up with less health problems, less obesity when they are adults. And we all want that, right? In a world where children are exposed to, a lot of activities which are media related as they get older. So if starting from a young age, we can allow them that movement and help them to develop in the most natural way possible for them, what their body requires, the sensitive period that they are in. When we don't allow them to move, when we restrict their movements, for one, the first thing that happens is they get frustrated because inside them, they want to move, they want to do things, and what we're doing is stopping them and saying, don't touch this, and don't go here, and don't do that, and they're getting irritated. Their body is telling them move, and we're telling them no. So it becomes a very frustrating situation for them. They tend to have tantrums and rebel against us. Secondly, it impacts their self-esteem and self-confidence. When they don't develop the physical skills as per their age and stage, they don't become confident. They don't feel like I have control and understanding over my body, and it impacts their self-confidence. And of course, it's definitely going to affect their health as they grow. So you really want to give your children a lot of opportunities to move, encourage them to do this. And today, that has been your secret of Montessori, the sensitive period to movement. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you again next week with a new secret to Montessori.